It was definitely hard at first not having a gym here where I live. They've been closed. Um, I mean, they just opened back up like a few weeks ago. So that was difficult adjusting to training at home. But luckily, I had a space where I could kind of set things up and get into a routine at home. So I wasn't honestly affected too much. Yeah, so I guess probably same answer as everyone else, a lot of bands. Um, I was lucky enough to already have some weights at home. So I had a little bit of weight to play around with, but I did incorporate a lot of bands into my workout. And I actually, now that I'm back to the gym, I'm still using the bands because I find that I get a lot better activation when I use bands for certain exercises. I actually started competing. I did my first show when I was 17, so I was in high school still. I had a friend who um, he was kind of in the industry and he approached me and was like, "I think you'd be good at this." And I was like, what is that?" I didn't even know what a show was at that point. But he took me through a prep, and I did my first show and I placed third. And at that point, I kind of fell in love with it, and I continued to do it. So and the rest is that was, I mean, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So the rest is kind of history. So I played sports in high school. I played rugby and soccer. And I've always been athletic. Like I was a swimmer when I was younger. I played pretty much every sport. Like I did karate when I was younger. Um, I've always been very athletic, but uh, I really think I really found my passion with training and going to the gym and working out and making my own plan, training myself, training other people. Um, it was a pretty smooth transition. I mean, I started going to the gym kind of just to like tone up like everyone else, and then when I started seeing the results, I kind of like fell in love with that and the process. So yeah, I've been very lucky to have really nothing but support from my family and friends. There's always those people on social media who are going to hate, and I think that every woman experiences that whether they compete or not. And you just have to learn that it's it's not real life social media and yeah, I mean, since I've competed, I've had obviously more attention in general, and some of that's negative, but I don't think too much of social media at all, really. So I would tell them to just maybe take a break from social media and kind of be present in your real life. Um, it's easy to, I mean, social media is a highlight reel. And I think people forget that go look on your page. You haven't posted anything that you're self-conscious about or that you wouldn't want other people seeing, and other people don't either. Even to some extent, people are photoshopping their pictures, their videos, their whatever it is. It's a lot of it is not real. It's not real life. So, don't compare yourself. That's the biggest thing. Just don't compare yourself to other people. I think my biggest highlight was my recent show that I did 2 weeks ago because I was competing kind of from the time I was 17 until the time I was, I think, 20. And then I took 3.5 years off. So coming back, I was kind of like a whole new person, and it was really exciting and kind of like relit that fire for me. So in the gym, for the last few months, I've been training 5 days a week. So I find I need 2 rest days. I usually um, I like to schedule it that way because I find I need like I'm sore and I need 2 rest days once I train 5 days a week. I recently, after my last show, I have switched it to 6 days a week just because I have a bit more energy now and I kind of like I feel like I want to go that extra day. But I will usually do cardio like 6 to 7 days a week, regardless if I'm training or not. Um, it's different when I'm prepping versus kind of off season, but not different in really what I eat. I usually eat the same foods. I keep it consistent. I would say that I track macros, but I kind of make up my own meal plan, and I usually eat the same thing every day when I'm prepping. And a lot of the time when I'm in my off season, I'll eat the same thing as well, just more of it. So, a lot of, well, I pretty much eat all whole foods. So, chicken, beef, rice, sweet potato, Greek yogurt, eggs, things like that. And it doesn't change too much in the off season aside from like a good cheat meal here and there. I actually, this has been the first prep that I haven't craved any specific foods. Aside from just being like hungry in general and your body craves more calories, but um I would say my go-to cheat meal is probably sushi. um I know that's pretty typical, but I love a good all-you-can-eat sushi and a burger and fries too, but like a chicken burger usually. Those are my go-tos. um No, I actually think for me, my favorite muscle groups to train are probably my best, and I'm not sure if that's just a coincidence or it's not, but glutes and shoulders are definitely my favorite. I know a lot of girls just say like, training legs is their favorite. That's not me. I hate training quads. So I usually train legs 2 to 3 times a week, and I'll have a quad and glute focus day, and then a hamstring and glute focus day, and then I'll have like just a glute focus day where it's just like an isolation workout. And I really struggle through my quad days. I just find them really hard, but I do enjoy training glutes. Like a glute isolation day is definitely one of my favorites, and shoulders too. Well, I immediately think of this last prep and kind of prepping through the end of the pandemic, I guess, where my show was in a different province. So almost right up until the end, there was a lot of uncertainty about the borders and the situation around isolating and things like that. So, I mean, the borders opened and closed multiple times throughout prep. So not only are you dealing with the regular stressors of prep, but you're also dealing with the uncertainty of not knowing, if the show's even going to go on until you're a few weeks out, which was something that I hadn't experienced before in a prep. And it definitely was a roller coaster of emotions. Well, I would say it's always been Jennifer Dory. I actually competed in the show that she won her pro card at, and that's where I first met her, and I was like, wow, like this girl gonna do big things. And she did obviously, and she's made huge improvements since that show. Um, and also Laura Lee, she just won the Chicago Pro yesterday, and her physique's just insane. And yeah, I kind of aspire to um, make improvements like that and have just the overall package that those girls have. I think it's crazy. My biggest advice would be to ask ask yourself and understand your why before you decide to do a show. So if your why is because you want to look a certain way, or you want to look like, the girls on the fitness magazine, or you don't like your body, that's not a good reason to compete. And I think you'll really struggle with, the post show is hard, and when your why is not truly where it should be, it's harder. So your why should be that you want to, like, bodybuilding is something that only, one or a half percent of the entire population do. It's hard, and it takes, it takes a certain mindset, and I think you have to have your mindset right before you decide to do a show.